How are you going, peeps? I am FEG with the 144 energy. Now, if I've shown up randomly in front of you, there is more than likely a message here for you, okay? I hope you're having an awesome source kind of day. And if not, please trust in the knowledge that you've got the strength to get through whatever it is you're going through. And I'll also send you some positive healing vibes. Now, just remember, peeps, this is a collective read. You know, it's a collective peeps read. So take what resonates and you leave what doesn't, you know. So if it doesn't apply, just got to let that shit show fly. And if the shoe's fitting, you know, if it's all making sense to you, you've just got to wear it, you know. Be accountable for your actions, your misactions, what you did and didn't do, the energies and the shit that you let, you know, where you let your boundaries down and you let people walk all over you and stuff like that, you know. Just be accountable, make changes, and rise above it all. And send them all peace, love, and light for those that have crossed you, okay? Now, just remember, within the tarot, like, there is no real gender. It's just the energy of the cards. So I could be saying you're an emperor and you're a female. Doesn't mean shit. It just means that you're in your boss daddy energy. And yeah. And I could be saying you are a queen of cups. You're an emotional, loving empath, nurturing and stuff like that. And you could be a masculine energy and you'd be like, well, that's not me. Well, we all encompass masculine and feminine energies. One's like right side of the brain, the other one's left. You know, and it's all about balancing it all. You know, even with balancing your shadow and your light self. Okay? You can't be all love and light and rainbows and fairy tales and bullshit. You've got to be able to harness your shadow self, you know. Lean into your traumas and all that kind of stuff and lovingly forgive everything and then release it to the universe. Okay, now before I get on any further, I just want to say a massive thank you to those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, FEG Energy 144, and also to those who have followed me on my Facebook profile, because Facebook won't let me open a page, so I've had to open up my private profile publicly. So, and that is Effie Gabriella with an A. And if you haven't already, please head over and like, follow, subscribe to either or both even. Like, I would really, really appreciate it. It just helps me to keep creating content to help raise the awareness of the collective of peeps, you know, in regards to this spiritual realm that we are truly living in. You know, we've got to wake up from this matrix shit show. They kept us asleep for long enough. For your whole lifetime, pretty much. Bestie's trying to throw the cards out. And it's time we wake up and we rise above it all and reclaim the kingdom back to who truly owns it. Well, not owns it, but to the rightful king, which is my bestie, creator source, God, spirit, most high, most divine energy in this universe, which is the sun, Ra if we're going old school. Alright, Bestie's like, geez, you've dribbled shit in that fucking, in that intro. There was like 3 bloopers before these peeps, so Bessie's having a bit of a giggle like she made it through. Okay, let's rock and roll with today's reading, shall we? Okay, first card off the ranks for today is Page of Pentacles. So, you're going to be starting something new. It's going to be bringing you in lots of plates, because in this deck, it is, I'm using the Housewives Tarot, which is like set in the 1950s. It's a really cool deck. I'm a bit of a retro girl from back in the day. Yeah, I love my rockabilly. Just the classics, the cars, the clothing and all sorts. But here you've got a Page of Pentacles. So a page is a card of newness. And you're learning. Okay, so you're going to be learning and creating something new. So, and soon enough, you're going to be having the plates flying off the shelf. So you're going to be creating something new and it's going to be bringing in some type of abundance. That's great news to hear, peeps. Okay, tell me more, please, bestie. The 9 of Cups is in the reverse. So the 9 is usually like a card of independence. And the Cups is like emotions, love, empathy and stuff like that. So you may not have been giving yourself enough love. You may not have been giving yourself enough love and enough credit for what you've gone through. Or what you're about to create as well. So... and Bestie, I'm just putting in the upright. Bestie's guiding me to show you something. So, see how that feminine is receiving like a gift? Like that masculine is Bestie. Creator source, God, spirit, whatever you resonate with, that's my bestie. Giving you a gift, and it's a gift of love, and you've got to love on yourself. So, you got to look at yourself in the mirror every day, tell yourself you love yourself for all the flaws. You know, things you find flaws within yourself, you know. Love yourself when you're having a bad day. Love yourself when you're having a good day. You know, it's not being egotistic and like, you know, perving on yourself per se, and it's not all about image and that. It's loving your soul, loving your spirit, loving your true essence of yourself. Okay, so you're going to start loving yourself soon enough. Like, you're not giving yourself enough love at the moment is what I'm hearing. And you've got a new idea that's going to start off small, but it's going to be building up to a stack of plates. Pentacles. Okay. Tell me more, please, bestie. Just let me make some room. Okay. 3 of Wands. So someone's actually been trying to stop you from manifesting. Someone has been trying to stop you from traveling, from a new start, someone's been trying to stop you from creating this new creation that's going to be bringing in, you know, abundance. Someone's actually been trying to put a stop to it. It's the 3 of Wands. So they're trying to stop you from making moves and moving forward within your life. Okay. Yeah, they thought that they'd swept the floor of you and cleaned up big time and done a number on you, but it's in the reverse. It hasn't fully come to fruition. So the Wands card is like magic, pretty much. There's good and bad magic in everything, you know. There's polarity in everything. So they've tried to stop you from manifesting. So the Wands card is like manifestation. In the reverse, it's like dark divination and shit like that. So someone's actually tried to stop you. They could be sending you bad intentions, but they're trying to stop you from traveling away. They're trying to stop you from creating. They're trying to stop you from loving yourself. Okay. Tell me more, please, Bessie. Yeah, they think they've swept up with the broom, but Bessie's saying they've left a bit of a mess behind themselves. Okay. Tell me more, please, Bestie. 7 of Cups in the reverse. So you may feel like you haven't got very many options at the moment. So in the reverse, sometimes it can mean like you're seeing through the illusions and stuff like that. But the energy I'm receiving from this card today is you feel like you don't have very many options to choose from. Bestie's saying sometimes too many options is just too hard to choose from, and yeah, you're feeling a little bit stuck, and that's okay, peeps. Like, allow yourself to feel the emotion and then let it pass. Like, speak to the universe if you must. Do it within your head would be better, so the Lord Lucifer and the devil fucking entities and bullshit don't actually hear you speak it out loud. Especially if you're in these new cars and shit like that in front of your phones. Because they're all recording. Okay, they're all recording and reporting it back to the deletes, the Illuminati and all those fuckwits that are running this matrix, alright? So, just have a chat with Bestie in your head, call on your angels, ask for synchronicities and signs to what you should be doing. Okay, which direction you should be going, and you will get guidance. You will get guidance. Okay, you'll start noticing random things like numbers like 111, 222, 333, 1234 on the clocks, on your microwaves. Microwaves are bad for you, by the way. Like on car registration plates, street signs. Like, look for these synchronicities, even on your timer on your phone. Okay, you might be seeing. You might have random ideas that pop into your head that seem like really left of kilter. Trust in your inner intuition, because that is your higher self. That's your angels, your angels of light pretty much giving you guidance, okay? And Bessie as well. Okay. 6 of Cups is in the reverse. Yeah, they're definitely trying to stop you from making new memories. So this person who's been trying to stop you in the 3 of Wands energy is actually trying to stop you from creating new memories, okay? So they don't want your cup to be filled. They don't want you creating memories. They don't want you loving on yourself. They don't want you manifesting. They don't want you doing anything. They want to keep you stuck in a state of lack. Okay. Alright, tell me more, please, Bestie. The Chariot is here. Ah, good stuff. So the Chariot is going to start moving things along for you pretty darn quickly. So you've got an old school wagon, so you may be loading up and literally moving away, but you're going to be creating something new, and it's going to be coming in pretty quick, okay? So you might be taking some risks. I don't know if you can see that in the card or not. You've got risk down here. You've got gain and chorus, and I don't know what that one is over there, but you're going to be singing happy tunes, you're going to be singing a chorus, because this new idea that you're coming up with is going to be bringing in the plates coming flying off the shelf in a good way. So it's going to be bringing in abundance. Okay, so just trust in the process, peeps. But it's time you start loving on yourself. Okay, that's also falling underneath the Nine of Cups in the reverse. You need to start loving on yourself and believing in your own skills, your own talents. This Three of Wands, this energy that's been keeping you stuck in a state of lack, really does not want you believing that you can create and achieve anything. So that's the thing, peeps. Like, we're all God source energy. We're all creator source energy. We are the creator of our physical 3D realm. You can't let other people get into your head about what you can and can't do. Only you can achieve what you're meant to be achieving, okay? The Hierophant here is here in the reverse. It's falling underneath the Three of Wands and the Nine of Cups. It's like they've been using like radio wave frequencies to try and put negative thoughts into your head. Because that's the thing, like, everyone believes in Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Microwaves, they're all projected radio wave frequency. This is like officials. So this is like someone higher up the ranks. It's been fucking with your radio frequency, peeps. So they've been putting negative thoughts into your head. Telling you you're no good, telling you you can't be doing this, you can't be doing that. Fuck what they say. It's up to you. You know, if you're manifesting for the grace of good with harm to none and best of intentions, it's the best way to manifest. It's the best form of magic. But if you're energy manipulating and fucking using other people's energy and fucking getting them to do things against their own free will, then that's not a good way to manifest for yourself, okay? So this Hierophant in the reverse is being the one who is been trying to stop you from manifesting, because it's falling under the Three of Wands. And it's been making you feel like you really can't love yourself, that you're unlovable, you know, and you are. Everyone is lovable. Everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves kindness. Everyone deserves abundance. Okay? It's up to you, though, to create your reality. Okay? You're going to be starting off small with the Page of Pentacles, but it's going to turn into something pretty big, and the plates are going to be coming off the shelf. You just got to believe in yourself. Temperance is here. I'm talking to an Earth Angel. You may or may not resonate with being an Earth Angel, but you are. You're a chosen one. You've just got to answer that call. Okay, so here we've got, it's one of those old school Sunbeam electric mixers. Kenwood Chef. If you're here in Australia, like, yeah, they're one of the best ones. They don't make them like they used to, that's for sure. So you've got the perfect blend of joy, justice, seasoning, instant anger, and sorrow. So you have balanced out everything, peeps, or you're going to be balancing out your shadow side with your light side. So remember I was saying before, you can't be all love and light and rainbows and bullshit. You have to have been able to harness your shadow side. So lean into your past traumas and face everything and rise, because fear is just an illusion. Or, you know, do what everyone else is doing and fear everything can run. Like, who wants to be running for the rest of their lives? You know, you've got to lean into things that have traumatized you, like family, friends, you know, just life happenings. You know, try and pay back your karmic debts. And it's not like you've got to pay back in physical money, you know, but you just got to try and make amends, you know, with the universe, with Bestie, Creator Source. But you definitely are an Earth Angel. So you just feel like you haven't got any options at the moment. You know, everything that's happening, if you're going through some tough times at the moment and you feel like you don't have very many options, you know, just trust that the universe is working in your favour. It's shaking shit up to bring in some newness for you. So everything's happening for you, not to you. Okay? Just be in the attitude of gratitude. Okay? Just trust in divine timing. The universe will always catch you. Bestie will not let anything be as bad as what it is. This negative intentions and bullshit that have been sent your way by this Three of Wands, this Hierophant in reverse. So Eight of Swords. Yeah, you've freed yourself, actually. It's in the reverse. So in the upright, the Eight of Swords is like self-imprisonment. You're imprisoned in the mind. They've tried to, this energy, this Hierophant in the reverse has tried to keep you in your own head, but you're going to be freeing yourself. You're going to be starting to see things for what they truly are. You're going to realise that you do have options. You're going to start believing in yourself, and you're going to be fucking this energy off out of it. I don't know if this is like a friend, work colleagues, family, just people around you that are judging you. You know, fuck what anyone else says. If you believe in yourself, trust in your inner self, your inner intuition, which is your higher self, which is your creative source energy, you can't go wrong. Okay? Trust me, I've had some people come up against me and they've tried to tell me not to do things, and it's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway, and it's worked out way better for me than me just being stuck and kept imprisoned in my own little mind. Okay? So always trust in your higher self, peeps. You know, you're going to be coming unstuck. They tried to keep you stuck on a pitted olive, pretty much like on a toothpicked pitted olive as an entree. You know, they didn't want you to see things for what they truly are, and yeah, but you're going to be coming out of that self-imposed imprisonment because you've believed in what other people have told you. Okay, you need to start looking in the mirror and seeing things for what they truly are and loving yourself. I'm not going to take them, bestie, because if they're meant to come out, they'll come out. There's just two cards that were flipped over in the deck. It's like, no. Okay, the Fool is in the reverse. So this Hierophant is trying to stop these changes from coming in. Is trying to stop you from, you know, taking that first step and taking that risk. And they just want you to stay stuck. So just put in the upright for you so you can see. See how this lady, flip your gender roles, it doesn't matter, it's just the energy of the card. It's like stepping off the house roof, arms loaded, you know, good to go, and pretty much stepping on nothing. That's because you're trusting in the process. But this is falling underneath the Hierophant in the reverse and the Chariot, which is like the quick moving card. So this Hierophant that's trying to keep you in the Three of Wands energy and doesn't want you to be able to manifest and move forward with your life, really does not want you to take that first step and take that risk. Okay? They're really trying to keep you stuck. You know, you can't be trusting in whatever anyone else thinks first, peeps. You've got to trust in your inner intuition first and foremost. Because if you can't trust in that gut feeling, that inner knowing in your heart space, that little voice in your head, well, it's not like a voice, it's just like ideas and stuff like that pop into your head. What can you trust? Okay? You've got to trust yourself first and foremost, and you've got to give yourself unconditional love. I'll take that. Page of Swords and the Five of Cups. So the Page of Swords. So you're going to be learning of some new truths, and you're going to be cutting this Hierophant in the reverse out of your energy. See how this Page of Swords got a big pair of scissors, snippy snips. You're going to be cutting this Hierophant out of your energy. You've got to get rid of any gifts, any text messages, block them on your phone, block them on your social media, because they're going to be coming at you, bro. Okay, that's just a saying I say here in Australia. You know, they're going to be coming at you. You're actually going to quite willingly cut them out of your energy. You can flip your gender roles, doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, but see the look of this child's face. You're like, yeah, okay. You're seeing things for what they truly are. The Page of Swords is like a new truth. So the Swords is like a truth, new knowledge, new wisdom, you know, you're just learning things, okay? So you're going to be learning, and you're going to be cutting this energy out of your 3D realm, 5D realm, you know. Yeah, you really need to cut them out of your energy. You really do, like quick sticks. Like as soon as you click onto what's going on, who's trying to keep you stuck, who's putting these negative thoughts in your head, who doesn't want you to be manifesting. They're telling you that this idea is shit, that idea is crap, but they're always wanting you to help them. You'll know who I'm talking about. Leave a comment in the comment section if any of this is resonating with you too, peeps. I'd really appreciate it. Okay. Five of Cups. Yeah, they really don't want you to see things. You've got 2 cups that are spilt, 3 cups still in front of you. They really don't want you to see things for what they truly are. You know, you still got the 3 cups full. You know, you may have lost 2 cups. You may be feeling like you're going through a state of lack. I'm talking to a chosen earth angel because it's falling under the temperance and the 8 of swords. So but you're getting unstuck from this energy. They really wanted you pulling out your hair. They really wanted you in a state of despair. I don't know if you can see that or not, because this camera sometimes struggles to focus a bit. But this Hierophant that has kept you feeling like you haven't got options in front of you, that wanted you to stay stuck, imprisoned in your own mind, in a state of lack, you know, thinking bad, negative thoughts about yourself, not loving on yourself. They really want you pulling out your hair. It's almost like they want you to stay drinking. It could be someone that you go out and like enjoy like a couple of wines or martinis with or something. You know, you maybe you've already stopped hanging out with this person and they're really, really trying to get in your head about the way you're leading your life. They really want you to be in despair and pulling out your hair. You may have even had a drink spilt on you the last time you went out with this person. I don't know why I was called to say that. The only reason I say that is because this feminine is lifting up her dress like she's just spilt the drinks on the floor, like she's had it spilt on her. Okay. But you're feeling a bit frustrated, or this energy wants you to feel a bit frustrated. They really don't want you to come out of the imprisonment of your mind, out of the 8 of Swords energy. 6 of Pentacles. Shit. Yeah, they don't want you to be taking that first step. This person, this Hierophant in the reverse, has got some evil entities. I'm just going to say it. They're in the devil energy. This is not the usual card, the energy of the card, but in this instance it is. This Hierophant in the reverse is rather greedy. They've been taking from you, like siphoning your energy and then keeping it all for themselves, like filling up their plate and not sharing with anyone. So yeah, you got the ghosts in the background. They're being watched. They're being watched by your spirit team. Okay? This Hierophant in the reverse is in this energy. They're just greedy little mofo. So you can give and give and give to them and they don't give you any energy, any assistance back. Okay? But they're just a greedy little mofo, is what Bestie's saying. And that's all right. You may be only cottoning on to how they've been truly treating you right now, but you've got some angels, you've got some spirit guides in the background that have been watching this shit show go down along with Bestie Creator Source. So you just need to wake up to it, snap out of it, and cut this energy out of your reality. Snippity snip. Jeez, I'm dribbling a bit of shit, aren't I, Bestie? This is like, check your timer. That's alright, Bestie. We've got, we're nearly at the end of the read. Okay, tell me more, please, Bestie. Ace of Cups. Yeah, Bestie's saying it's time you start filling up your own cup. So you need to start loving on yourself. You need to start treating yourself. You know, if you like to go out for a walk or treat yourself to a coffee or maybe get your nails done or, you know, start treating yourself a little bit with more love. Okay, the more you can treat yourself to love, the better off it is. So you're going to start loving on yourself, you know, looking after your vessel better, which is your human avatar. You know, you might decide to change up your diet, stop eating meat because that's not really good. And don't get me wrong, I used to be a meat eater. Like, I used to love eating steaks and cooking up a roast on a Sunday and stuff like that. But to raise your frequency, you really need to cut meat out. You know, it's a bit of a satanic thing. And you know, we're none the wiser until we're taught this, okay? Because, I mean, when you look at our teeth, they're all like chewing, grinding teeth. You know, we haven't got fangs like dogs and fangs like cats and things in the wild that are designed to rip apart flesh, you know? Anyway. But you're going to be starting to love on yourself. And Bessie's saying combine the 5 and the 6 of Cups together. Now, we've already had the 6 of Cups coming out in the reverse. So this energy, this Hierophant that's in this devil fucking, greedy fucking energy doesn't want you to create new memories, new joyful memories. Five of Cups is in the upright, and the Ace of Cups is in the upright, and that makes Six of Cups in the upright. So pretty much you are going to be creating beautiful, loving memories for yourself, and you're going to be loving on yourself, but you need to take that first step. Get in front of the mirror, you know, acknowledge what you don't like about yourself and still love it. You know, like, look at my ears, for instance. One's got a real knobby bit. Oh, that's a nice ear. This one's got the real chunky bit at the top. You know, I was created differently for a reason. You just got to accept your uniqueness and still love yourself for how you are. You've got a kind heart, beautiful soul, and a beautiful aura, is what I'm being told by Bessie. So start loving on yourself, please, peeps. You know, if you can give yourself unconditional love, then you can truly give unconditional love to others. And you won't be always putting other people first. You know, when you love yourself, you'll learn to put up boundaries so you don't give everything you've got, all your energy and that, to the wrong greedy motherfuckers. Okay. Four of Pentacles. So you feel like you've had to be careful with your finances. You feel like you've had to, you know, count every plate that's in the cupboard. You know, you're holding on to it pretty tight. And you look a little bit worried, but you're going to be fine, peeps. You're going to be fine. You need to take that risk. Whatever idea you've got floating in your head, like, fuck what anyone else says and they're telling you can't do it, this, that, and the other. They're just trying to keep you stuck in a state of lack. It's going to be bringing you, this new idea is going to be bringing you the plates flying off the shelf, okay? So just trust in that knowledge. You may feel like well, it's the Matrix design, actually. They're siphoning off our energy. They're making us pay taxes for it. And then they're also making us feel in a state of lack. So you may feel like you've got the bills and that piling up, you know. And that's okay. You still got to pay bills and that. But you've got to trust in your inner intuition, okay? So you may be worried about finances. And Best is saying, Creator Source Spirit is saying, things will turn out okay. Just trust in the process. All right? One more. I think I've gone one too many. I don't know why I was drawn to pull that. Judgment is here in the upright. So once you realise this greedy motherfucker that's in your energy that's been trying to stop you from manifesting, judgment will be called. So Gabriel is going to ring the bells, the trumpets, and fucking bring balance into your world, okay? Because you're balancing the scales here. You know, the Matrix been trying to portion up your energy to keep this fucking simulation running with fucking paying taxes, working fucking 12-hour shift days, and not allowing us to enjoy our life. You know, we're meant to be here learning in our school and getting some enjoyment from it, not being kept in a constant state of stress, anxiety, and that over finances, okay? But once you realise who's been trying to keep you from manifesting and doesn't want you to create new beautiful memories for yourself and doesn't want you loving on yourself, judgment will be called. But you've got to recognise who's who in your zoo first. Okay, bottom of the deck energy is the Three of Pentacles. So you're going to be working together you're going to be working on something, and it looks like you're going to be working on your own. Your hands are turning into a hammer and a screwdriver, and you're going to have people wandering in the background, like watching over you, wondering how you are actually doing it. Okay, and you may even be calling in, this idea will actually take off and you probably will be hiring people to work alongside you. So I'm hearing that you are a leader, not a boss. So you won't just boss people around and sit behind a desk and ho. You'll actually roll up your sleeves and get in and help. You know, it's your creation, peeps, all right? Nine of Wands. Okay, Bessie's just told me, just give me one more because we can. So you've gone through the fire, or you're going through the fire, and you're rising above it all. Okay, you've had shit sent your way, and you're still cleaning up. You are transmuting energy. You're going to be transmuting energy and rising above the fire like a phoenix. Okay, and I'm just going to pull a couple of quick clarifiers from the light. What's this one called? The Light of the Child, the Healing the Atlantean Way Oracle deck. Okay, thanks, Bestie. You do have a spark for life. So you've got a lot of abundant energy, peeps. You're a bit like me. You're a bit zesty. You got lots of energy, and this is why this Hierophant in reverse has been siphoning your energy and being greedy and fucking, yeah. So you got the spark for life. So you are illuminating in gold. You're going to be working on something. Obsidian, true self-reflection. You're going to be reflecting on yourself. You're going to be reflecting on yourself, and this is where you need to start giving yourself some love. And also, Bestie is saying keep a piece of black obsidian crystal in your pocket to keep away negativity. Now, if you find that you can't work with black obsidian, you can. That's one of my black obsidians. You can. Which pocket have I got? Because I've always got a pocket full of crystals these days, mate. When you're a spiritual, when you've awoken and you're on your ascension journey, and you've taken the call to be a chosen earth angel, a chosen one, you need to carry crystals. So if you find that you can't work with black obsidian, black tourmaline is also another good one to keep on you, keep in your cars, any vehicles that you have. Like I keep one in all my cars, and my motorbike, I keep it in my jackets. Okay, so Bestie is saying get yourself some black obsidian, but it's time to truly self-reflect. So reflect on yourself and reflect on who these energies are in your reality. Okay, and hematite. So you're going to be needing to ground yourself in nature, do a bit of spiritual grounding. So shoes and socks off, go for a walk along the beach, go for a dip along the beach, in the salt water, if weather permits. Run yourself some spiritual baths with some Epsom salts, chuck in some, whatever fragrant lavender oil you like, or whatever oils that you resonate with. Chip in a bit of Palo Santos with a bit of, I use a potato peeler, I just chip the end. If you put little chips in the bath, it won't clog up your bath plug when you empty it. And start grounding yourself. If you can't get in a spiritual bath, Chosen 144's come up with a brilliant idea. Put some Epsom salts on a flannelette. Now I just say just roll up one end so it doesn't dissolve and flush straight down the shower. Stand on that and you'll feel the energy rising from it pretty much. Or you can just go touch a tree, it gets rid of the positive energy and puts negative energy back into you, and that's not bad energy. It's just like electric, positive to negative. It just helps you recharge. You don't have to fully, literally hug a tree, but you just touch it with both hands. Take your shoes and socks off as well. Ground yourself in nature. Hang out with some pets. If you resonate with animals, they're a great way to ground yourself. Do some gardening. Like I love gardening. Yeah, okay. And one more, bottom of the deck, because we can. Patience. So just trust in the process, peeps. Once you start working things out, who's who in your zoo and who's trying to keep you stuck in a state of lack, you'll start working on things, and it will start off slow, but it will also pick up soon enough. Okay, so that's a message for someone. I'm Effie G with the 144 energy. I hope I brought you some clarity. Peace, love and light always.